Good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. One thing you're going to notice still sticking around from yesterday are those clouds, and those clouds are acting like a blanket to keep in some of the heat for those of us in the west side valleys like Medford. Medford right now, you're stepping outside to 51 degrees, feeling pretty comfortable into Siskiyou County as well, where we're seeing some mid-40s. One place, though, that's a little bit cooler, off toward Klamath Falls. A few patches of clear sky helped us to fall down into the mid-30s to start off your morning. We've been tracking not only those clouds, but some passing areas of fog across the coast, helping to keep us in the mid-40s to start off your morning. The fog over in Crescent City, well, it's knocking your view on the roads down to just 4 miles ahead. We've been keeping the densest fog up towards Sexton Summit. Visibility still less than a mile in front of you on the roads, and fog early this morning as well. Off to the east side of the mountains in Klamath Falls, where you also want to be slowing down because your visibility just 1 mile ahead right now. Off on the east side of the mountains, though, Klamath Falls, even though you're cool and foggy to start off the morning, we're going to be keeping temperatures climbing up to the mid to upper 60s today. That's going to put us about 5 degrees above normal for this time of the year. We typically see those lower 60s and farther away from any record heat. The record temperature today to beat in Klamath Falls, 81 degrees. It's a similar story over in Wairika, where we'll be a little bit cooler than yesterday, still though topping off in the lower 70s. Us as well, that means 5 degrees above normal and more than 10 degrees away from anything record breaking. And across southern Oregon's valleys, those clouds keeping us warm won't be enough to allow for too much of a warm up this afternoon. We're going to be sitting in the mid 70s by later on today, so that puts us more than 5 degrees above normal, but still about 15 degrees away from any sort of record breaking heat. Now, the reason that we are going to be talking about those clouds and a cool down are the after effects of this cold front that swept through last night. We are going to be continuing to watch clouds on the decrease as that cold front moves its way further off to the east. But one thing that's going to be sticking around is a shift in the wind. We're going to see that north-northwesterly wind continue to funnel in. So, of course, that means some cooler Canadian air continuing to push our direction. Now, as we head through the end of the week, we're going to be watching off to the west as more high pressure or that big pocket of dry air starts to move in. High pressure means not only are we going to be staying dry, but looking out for sunshine and a warm up. Clouds in those areas of fog going to be on the decrease across the coast and allow for temperatures to climb back up into the 60s by your afternoon. Still will be a little bit breezy, though, with that northerly wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. In Northern California, continuing to see that northwesterly breeze. Keep us a little cooler than yesterday. Still, though, going to be pretty comfortable as we climb up into the mid-60s to lower 70s. And on the east side of the mountains, we saw those temperatures for today in Klamath Falls going to stay about 5 degrees above normal. Still, though, it is going to be a bit of a cool down from yesterday, just looking at some 60s across the board. And across the mountains, a little bit of a cool down for us as well, even as we get rid of those clouds throughout the day. We're talking about highs near 50 degrees over in Crater Lake and in Prospect, sitting in the mid-60s by later on this afternoon. Across southern Oregon's valleys, temperatures falling a few degrees from yesterday. Still, though, we're going to be about 5 degrees above normal for this time of the year, sitting pretty comfortably in the mid-60s to mid-70s and gradually adding back to sunshine. As we keep the sunshine moving in through not only the second half of the work week, but into your weekend for the coast, well, we're going to be sitting in upper 60s and lower 70s in Brookings. East side of the mountains, the clear sky going to do two big things to your temperature. It's going to keep those lows in the 30s, but keep highs warming up to the low to mid 70s, not only as we wrap up the week, but even as we head through the weekend. And Northern California, similar pattern for us as well. Layers are going to be key for the next few days since we're going to be waking up to lows in the 30s and 40s, but followed by highs in the 80s Friday and Saturday. And across the Rogue Valley, a little bit cooler out there today. Still, though, as we head back in the sunshine the next few days, looking for a big warm up, especially on Friday, where we could be back up in those mid 80s.